Well, good morning, Clearview Church. Welcome to another Straight Talk. This morning, we get to spend some time with Steve Blount, which is our Salt and Light Director, and Greg Verrier, who is known all over the county and even parts of the world for running a nonprofit ministry called 5110. And it's an incredible ministry that we're going to hear more about. So thanks for taking your Saturday morning and spending some time with us. We're going to start with Steve. You guys all know Steve. Steve gets up in front and gets us moving to get out of our seats and go and serve. But, you know, we have some new people in church. So tell us, what's the vision of Salt and Light, and why are you always hounding us?
Well, Salt and Light really is our community missions, and it's a way of getting those in the pews into our community and being Christ's hands and feet, which becomes Salt and Light. And so our vision really is to be able to form relationships with those in our community and get the opportunity where we can share the gospel with them. And at the same time, have each person here have an opportunity to get to know what it feels like to serve and the blessing that God gives us for serving.
Yeah. So it's a big part of the heart of our church and what we want to be about. And even though I make fun of you, we're thankful for you being the catalyst because we need help in getting focused outward and getting busy with what God has for us. So thank you. We want to highlight, before we connect with Greg, something that we're doing this year. We've been telling you guys about this for our 25th anniversary as a church. We've taken $20,000 for our foreign missions team and $20,000 for our local partners and said, you know what, we just want to take this money and celebrate what God's done in us by pouring into you guys. And so, Steve, tell us a little bit about how you guys have been going about that. You've gotten these resources. What's that been like? What's the conversations been like around, you know, how do we decide how much money? I know you kind of think Greg might get $1 and some other ministries might get
yet to
10,000.
be determined. It has been a really, really great opportunity for the Salt and Light team. Basically, we have taken 7 of the agencies that we work with in town. We have the prison, the pregnancy center, the mission, DPCA, Creekside, and the Arkansas Valley Helping Hands. And what we've done is we've gone to them and said, look, we didn't say how much money, but we just said, if you had the opportunity and could get some money that would enhance your ministry, you know, what would you like that to be? And so they have come back with proposals, sometimes 1 or 2 or 3, depending on, you know, so we could decide. And then we have our team, as we meet, we've been meeting with one of these agencies every time we have a meeting now to feel the heart of that agency, to know what they're looking for, what the proposal is. As an example, the prison is looking for some sound equipment that they don't have, that they could really enhance how they do some of the ministry there. And so everybody has come with a proposal, and we've got 2 more agencies to meet with in the next 2 weeks. And then once we have done that, we will sit down, as we've been praying already, and make a decision on how we divvy up that money. But for the most part, we're trying to, you know, really hear and see what they have and what will make the biggest bang for the buck, you know. So that's kind of where we're going.
Yeah. And we're going to keep doing these updates. You know, we want this to be a celebration this year, and just get excited about what God's doing with these resources that he's blessed us with. So Steve's team is doing a great job with that. So we want to connect with a ministry in town that's, for some of you, newer. I've had several people ask me, what's 5110? And have Greg talk about this. But Greg is a big part of our community, him and his family. Greg has the gift of encouragement. Huge. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy... Thanks. Every time I'm with him, he's encouraging people, and has really, you and your family have come into this community with a vision, and just breathed a lot of life and excitement and hope and vision into this place. And so it's awesome to know you, and it's awesome to be a partner with you. So for some of the people who are new, tell us, you know, what's 5110? What's your guys' vision? And how did God put this on your heart?
Well, Zach, thank you for those kind words. But we feel so grateful to be in this community. We moved here almost going on 6 years this May. And this last year has been a little crazy for us, and we have felt the love of the community. So there's no better place for us, and there's no place that we'd rather be. We came up with this idea through the adoption of our children. We have 3 adopted children, Nolan, our oldest, but it was through the adoption of our twin daughters, Addison and Bella, that we saw this amazing thing with horses. And we just simply got our horse lessons, and we started to see a lot of these things unwinding. And so we had this aha moment where we were like, I wonder if this is something that we could share with all families. Our background is corporate. My background is corporate accounting and finance. Elsa's is corporate HR, and we were in Atlanta. She was with Home Depot. I actually, at that point, was pursuing a degree in biblical counseling, and it was in about 2013 that we started down this path of, I wonder what this would be like. And it was in September of 2013 that we actually came upon Buena Vista. Never heard of it. I had opened up a road atlas, and we were both like, I think Colorado is that place, because we wanted the majestic awness of you look around, God's handiwork is evident here. As I look to my left and my right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Right. So, but in that, we just started to walk through this. We visited BV in April of 2014. We visited a ministry that we wanted to model ourselves after in June of 2015. At that time, I had been crunching numbers and thinking, with this and that, if we were to walk away from the corporate world and the working, not that I don't work, I work harder than I've ever worked. That's not much, right? But it's still more than I did. But with that, I was maybe 2017, but when we got back in June of 2015, we both felt convicted that, the Lord wanted us to just jump in feet first. And so May of 2004 or June of 2014. May of 2015, we loaded up the U-Haul and came across country and landed here Memorial Day of 2015. And after settling in, and it was 2017 when we officially launched 5110. And the thought behind 5110, we call it mentorship, but ultimately it's discipleship, and we use our tagline as one child, one leader, one horse. And we use the horse as a conduit between the mentor and the child to really, horses, for those of you who are around horses and familiar, they have this innate ability to bring things to the surface. And so it was through that, and a lot of our horses are rescues, so they have a story, and sometimes the kids identify with that story. And so this is the model we've been rolling with. We have greater vision that the Lord has continued to pour into our hearts in this, because really what it comes down to is it's really about discipleship and connecting and relationships. And so we're going to, as we continue to grow, we have some neat ideas of how to gather individuals to grow in that. And so right now we're developing the infrastructure of the ranch south of here in Nathrop. And so that's my segue into how we are giving hearts, and we would love to give the Salt and Light group an opportunity to come serve.
To serve.
Right.
Well, when we first met you, you guys were just leasing or using Rancho Caballo as a place to get this started. And I remember when you guys came to town, and I think there's this idea in BV when people come from outside here of feeling like, well, okay, what do you guys want from us? I mean, even I remember hearing about the ministry and kind of going, is this really going to be about serving this community, or is it going to be about using this community for someplace else? And I just know that over time, being with you guys right from the beginning, I felt your heart and your wife's heart, Elsa's heart, for this place of BV. I mean, that you guys were for this place, whether it was at the beginning coaching soccer, jumping in wherever you guys could.
Yeah, that was such a help to the community.
Well, we've had some struggles because of that. No, just kidding. But no, I think that's a key thing for us, is that, I mean, my own kids, our staff kids, have benefited from this, as well as kids that don't know Christ. I mean, It really has been a place for kids to go and feel connected. And you guys started over at Rancho Caballo, and then the big dream was property,
Right.
a place to be. And when was that you guys actually were able to be on site?
We landed there in June of 2019. So we'll be getting ready to launch our third full season out there.
And that's been a game changer.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
More work, but yeah, absolutely a game changer.
Yeah. It's a beautiful area. Yeah. You guys are finally living on site now, right?
Yes,
in a house.
Yep.
Because before you were just renting a house.
Right. And that's a huge piece, even from a herd management. And, it was a crazy 5 years leading up to the point where we finally were able to call the ranch home, as well as the ranch. So
where your ministry was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing, in that it's been a blessing for us to just see the community come around us. But back to your point about us being for the community. Yeah. When we first started and launched this idea, we're coming full force thinking, the Lord's with us. We're doing this. This is going to be the most amazing moments in our lives. And the first 3 years were some of the worst moments of my life. But I mean, just honest, you're stepping into this, and, I don't understand why, when two people from corporate move to the middle of nowhere where no one knows them and they're not ranch people and they want to start a ranch, why people look at them like they're crazy.
What could go wrong?
I remember Mary Kate, we met Mary Kate that visit in 2014. Actually, we brought the kids back in October, and we met her up at St. Elmo's, and just a random crazy meeting of this young lady and some friends on a Sunday afternoon. We were the only ones, her and her group and my family were the only ones there. And I remember years later when we reconnected with Mary Kate, she's like, yeah, I remember vaguely the conversation, and this family was coming to start a ranch. And she's just thinking in the back of her head, yeah, that's funny. And, and now when I look back, I'm like, yeah, what were we thinking? But I'm glad we weren't, because we probably wouldn't have landed here if we were truly thinking from a common sense perspective, like, yeah, this is going to work out. And what's amazing is you look in the rearview mirror and how you make your plans, and it is true. He determines the steps, and there's so many. I wouldn't have scripted it the way it happened, but I wouldn't change the script at all.
Right.
And yeah, when another, misnomer, when we landed here, people thought, well, it's just another ranch, right? And then when they found out that, no, we're for the Valley, and our constituents are the children of the Valley, that was a little odd for them to wrap their heads around too. So it's been really neat to just see. There's just so many amazing stories that have come out of us walking in this. And really early on, it's not that you felt resistance, but it was, people were like, what do you want from us? And, it's funny, because I'm old and wise. It's funny I didn't get it, right? Not old. Okay, I'll give you that, right? Not so wise, but I'm getting wiser.
Yeah.
But when you start from nothing.
Yeah.
But so it has been amazing for us in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've seen that. And I think one of the pieces about getting you guys involved, I would say some of mine and Isaac's best connection points have been, hey, let's go help 5110 get hay, and it's a great way to serve, to get out of the house, to go do something, and to really make a difference in what's going on in the lives of kids in our community. and to be able to grab your son or to grab your dad, or your, your daughter and say, hey, let's go and serve and help.
Right.
And it's a win-win. I mean,
Amen.
it's a win
Amen.
for us. Steve can speak to that.
We've enjoyed the opportunities every time we've gone over to work on the ranch. Sometimes we help put siding on in his house. We've gone and done the hay. We've cleaned up the yard. And every time we're there, everybody has just an absolute wonderful time and are so blessed by doing it. And that's really what, like I say, Salt and Light's all about. Is a lot of people have not experienced the opportunity it is when you go out and serve others. It's not work. It's joy. And so, yeah, everything that we've been able to accomplish over there has been awesome. And of course, he's a good talker and encourager, like you said. So he keeps us lively while we're there.
Yeah.
That's how I can get out of working.
I thought that's what it was.
We've
Okay.
noticed
Yeah,
that. We've
yeah.
noticed that too. Well, you guys got a big project coming up.
Right.
I mean, big vision and some things coming up. Just share a little bit about the dream of what you're hoping to move forward for this next season for summer.
Right. So we got funding to build a horse barn and a hay barn. The horse barn is up. It's just the innards of the horse barn need some work. So we need skilled and unskilled labor. And so, so we need people painting, staining, cutting boards. We're going to have framing done on the inside. One thing that's really exciting for us is in the first 4 seasons of existence, we've only had porta-johns, and hopefully by mid-April, we'll have a toilet that flushes. That is very exciting, right?
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, the kids don't have to go back to your house to go to the bathroom.
Right,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. So it is neat from that perspective, but we'll have a tack room will be built out in there. We've been using a repossessed $2,000 shed for our tack shed, and it's served us well. It's moved with us everywhere, and we're going to retire it and use it for maybe tools or what. But now we'll have an official tack room. We'll have a feed room. Currently, our feed room is the mud room in our house, and we take the feed down in mornings on a 4-wheeler. So that'll be really neat from an efficiency perspective. It'll be great to finally have a hay barn. Every year we go through tarps because been tarping the hay, and just be able to keep all of our hay and have enough to house a full year's worth of hay will be exciting. There's cleanup that always and just getting ready for the launch, because our planned launch is April 19th. Typically, we like to launch 1st of April, but we really have a desire to have these projects fixed. We have a special project that is going to take some artistic skill, and it's going to be neat, and we're going to unveil that on Good Friday. And I guess I'll share with you all, we're going to erect 3 crosses on one of the ledges, one of the bluffs on the property, and have a little service there to honor the day, and just really excited about that. I think it's going to be really neat to have those up there and just a place of prayer. But there's just tons and tons of projects. And so we have a work week coming up, and I think it's actually a week from 2 weeks from this last Monday.
It's the 29th, Monday the 29th through Thursday the, whatever that is, 31st. And then Good Friday will be an opportunity.
So at service and out in the foyer as you come to church, we're going to be having signups for different things. There's lots of opportunities from staining to more skilled labor, cleanup. I mean, there's something for everybody. Really.
As well as there's a need of tools. So even if you can't go, but you could loan a skill saw, or we have a long list of different tools that they might be able to use, and that you would get back in the same condition. We would just mark your name on it and so forth and so on. But yeah, it will be really helpful as you leave here on Sundays if you could stop by the table and just put down, I can work a half a day on this day, or I can work every day, or I can only work the afternoon. That way we have a hint of who's can be there, and then they could be assigned based on your talent or skill to help build the hay barn or to do the crosses or whatever it might be. So yeah, we'll have a list of each day and who can work when, and then whatever skills they have. If they'd like to work at a certain spot, we'll try to connect them with that on that day. And as I said, even the need for tools, there's quite a few tools for everybody to be able to borrow and use. So.
Yeah, and I just want to add two things, and I have a great ability to continue to add, so we'll just make it two. One, from a tool perspective, we will have an actual tool crib.
Yeah.
And so we'll have that regulated and just, because tools are tools, and we get that. And so we want to respect and honor that.
You mean so that the tools get back?
Yes,
Yeah.
so the tools get back. Not that they'll sleep. It's not like
Right.
crib,
Not a
but
crib.
yeah.
I saw on the list it said new truck for Greg. Was that on there? That's a sneak in there.
I don't know.
It's not on my list.
It's not on Steve's
It's not
list.
on my
Okay.
list.
know what you're
That might have
talking
been an
about.
unofficial list.
Right, yeah. And the second thing I want to add, right, like so often, we're a children's ministry. Really, our heart truly is for the community, both the faith community and the non-faith community. And as our hope is, as we can gather as a community, it's about the children, but ultimately it's about the relationships. And you know what? It's a hay barn, it's a horse barn, but those are secondary in the kingdom, right? And the Lord will use these to build relationships. And we've seen it, even when we were throwing hay earlier, it was just neat at one junction, 20 people standing around in this, in these times, it was tough, right? From a social perspective, but men being able to, and, ladies being able to communicate and just connect. Yeah. So with God, it is always about the relationship. And so, the neat thing is he can use our vocation to draw us closer to him.
Yeah, that's great. Do you guys have a website, Facebook page?
Yes, we do. We have a Facebook page. I think it's 5110.
Yeah.
I don't know this that cool social media stuff. Sorry, MK and Elsa. I'm just not hip on that. On the website, though, I do know.
Yeah.
It's www.5110youthranch.org.
Okay. And there's pictures on there. Last time I was on there, you can kind of see the ranch and what's going on there and their vision statements, and you can give on there.
Yeah,
Also,
absolutely.
if somebody's watching this and say, hey, I'd like to contribute, you can do it through that. So, well, Greg, we love you. Like I said before, you guys have really, you've poured into this community, and our community is not the same because you guys are here, and in a really, really good way. You've blessed us, and it's an honor for Steve and I to be up here with you and to be a part of this. We feel honored to be a part of where you're going and what God's doing, and to be a small part of that. So thank you.
And thank you as well. We're honored to be part of this community.
Yeah.
Thanks for receiving us.
Yeah. So if you have questions, grab Steve or I during service, or if you've been watching online, you're not coming to service, but you're interested in helping, you can call the office. We can get you connected and get you plugged in to being a part of this workday, and we'll get lots more information out there. So I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of giving to this church, which has enabled us to be able to put money towards these organizations and be a blessing. You guys are awesome, and you're such a generous group of people, and it's just amazing to see how God works through all of you. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.